Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has hit the road in the New South Wales Hunter region, reassuring coal communities they have a bright future under the government's climate target. Live to Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, there's plenty of unanswered questions still about the net zero target, and we did have a timeline for the modelling. It's not far away.
Tom, there's a few unanswered questions here. One, what did the Nationals secure in exchange for supporting a net zero target by 2050? But that question about the timeline for the modelling is now front and centre. Scott Morrison told Parliament on October 28 that we'd see this modelling that underpins the climate target in the next couple of weeks. We're now 11 days on from that. Today in the Hunter Valley pushed on the same question. He keeps referring to soon as the time frame. Now, it's critical we see this because the government's making quite a few bold claims that 62,000 heavy industry and mining jobs will flow as a result of this target, and also that people will be on average around $2,000 better off. We have yet to see the details of this modelling. Here was Scott Morrison pressed on when we will.
Prime Minister, when will you release the net zero modelling?
Soon.
Do you have an estimation then?
Soon.
When? About a few months?
Soon.
And when will we see the details of the deal struck with the Nationals? Do taxpayers deserve to see what that deal was to get?
Well, we're already outlining our policies, and all of them will announce between now and the next election.
This does certainly feel at the moment a lot like we're in pre-election territory. The election has to be called by May next year. On the Labor side, they're still yet to announce their suite of climate policies either. Scott Morrison's certainly keen to seize on that policy vacuum, particularly on these comments from the shadow climate change minister, Chris Bowen. He hinted yesterday that Labor could tinker with the safeguards mechanism. Now, that requires Australia's biggest emitters to keep their net emissions below a certain level. Scott Morrison certainly keen to seize on that.
And now we hear they're going to legislate to tighten up the safeguard mechanism using heavy regulation to regulate away jobs here in the Hunter. That's what their plan is. The Labor Party is always the same way. They want to tell you what to do. They want to legislate everything. They don't trust Australians to just get on and do it.
It's an intriguing attack line because, yes, it does matter what happens with the safeguard mechanism, and that could affect, how quickly companies have to adjust. But what the government's saying is the thing we brought in, the safeguard mechanism, is only a coalition policy. Don't trust Labor to do something a bit different with it. And ultimately what a lot of economists say should happen, you've got to bring that safeguard mechanism lower. Otherwise there's there's nothing in place to make emitters actually reduce their emissions over the next 30 years.
But Tom, the coalition has flat out refused to do that. We heard the Energy Minister, Angus Taylor, when the BCA made the same argument you just made there, that they should change this level of the safeguards mechanism. Angus Taylor called it a sneaky carbon tax. So Scott Morrison's trying to hit Labor on this issue before they've even announced the policy, but it misses the pretty big point that this is a coalition policy, one introduced by Tony Abbott, and one at this stage the government's saying that they're going to keep in terms of that heavy regulation on industry. It's already there, albeit at the level the government set it.
Trudy, thank you.